Good day peeps, Lisa here again, and today I'm delighted to bring you an update on our most recent project, the Lefty. And here she is. So last time basically we had the pieces cut for the neck. I hadn't dressed the box or anything like that, so we were literally going from scratch really. We decided on a straight through, or more or less straight through neck. And I'm going to basically update you on the progress now, so that, yeah, we're up to scratch. So here we go. So basically, I did leave the neck overnight to dry, as I think I rounded up on the last video. So we stuck the heel to the neck, and I did add a couple of little wings, which are basically cut from the same piece of wood, cut down the middle, stuck either side. I left those 24 hours to give them a really good glue, and then just basically very roughly cut out this kind of headstock shape, and basically that's as far as I've got with the neck. One or two other things which I will run through in a moment. Here's the box, remembering to keep her left. So basically I thought to myself, if I do the headstock, I'll probably stop getting confused. So I did, I cut out the headstock, I drilled the holes for the sound holes, and basically cut out the slot to receive the neck, remembering that this is a Lefty, so she'll fit together like this. One or two surprises that you always find when you build these things, so I'm going to run you through those as well today. Let me just show you inside. So basically, as per usual, I dressed the corners with some offcuts of plywood that actually came from Dirty Dave's neck when I was building Boulder's Love, Dirty Dave. Reminding us to keep left. That's about it. So obviously the neck fits into the slot, and we take it from there. Now, one or two surprises, which I will run you through now. When I was cutting the slot here, I was originally cutting down to just about the edge of that sticker there when I ran into a small problem, and I don't know where it is. I was going to show you, but basically there was I think you can see there's two tiny holes. There was a staple sticking right up through, which I cut it out with a tenon saw, and when the tenon saw hit the staple, it kind of ripped that bit out the bottom of the box. So basically I cut it all the way down, and this sort of thing does happen from time to time, but it doesn't matter because we're going to have two little supports here anyway, which will basically raise the neck up, and you can bring those flush with the edge of the box, and that will fill in the gap. If you want it to look a bit more pretty, you can always paint along there, or paper it, or decorate it in any way you see fit really. So that'll be raised up a little bit there, and obviously the fingerboard will be on the top. So once the fingerboard's rested on there, which I have over here, this one lines up with the front, so it's flush. There's no overhang on this one. I decided to go with just a straight piece. I've stained the oak, sorry, holding her right-handed, see? I stained the oak using acrylic paint actually, like artist's acrylic, because I do paint as well. It's quicker than using the coffee stain, and you do get a lovely result. I mixed some ochre colour, I think, with some burnt umber, and just kind of sponged it on the front, left it for a couple of minutes, and sponged it off again. If I show you this end, you can see the difference in colour. And again, I left it overnight so that it'd have plenty of time to dry. In the morning, I coated it with olive oil, actually, It's olive oil that's infused with the essence of lemon rind. So like the essential, Liesl, get your words out, oils of lemon in olive oil, which I find works really well. Now obviously what people would probably more usually use would be boiled linseed oil or linseed. Unfortunately I can't touch that because I'm seriously allergic to it, as I did find out in quite a nasty way. So linseed oil is kind of out for me, but olive oil does a really good job. Coconut oil, anything like that really. You can use Danish oil. Again, I kind of react to that. My skin reacts to all kinds of things, so. But basically, you get the hint anyway. Just oil it. Let that dry. And that's probably it really. It will get a coat of clear at the end. Bit of a polish. And that'll go on the front of our neck like that. And already you can see she's beginning to look a little bit guitar shaped. So I thought I'd bring you up to date on that one. It's on the back. Hopefully it'll be straighter than that once we've squared it. And I've left the bottom unshaped at the moment, purely because I think, especially if it's fretless, it's a lot easier to stick the fingerboard on and then carve the back of the neck, rather than carve the back of the neck and then it's rounded and then you've got to try and clamp the fingerboard onto the neck. I don't know how people get on with frets. I don't know if they fret them at the end or if they kind of fret them and then attach it. I don't know, but anyway, I digress. So that is what I plan to do. One or two little mishaps on the way, which again often happens, you know, or not often, but does happen from time to time. And if you remember, on the back of the box, we did make some little marks when I was taking the plastic trim off. You can see it there at the front. I did promise you that I would show you how to remedy this, and so I will. And this brings me to wonderful ingredient, I shall say, carpenter's fairy dust. The way to fix that is carpenter's fairy dust and wood glue. Now, here we have carpenter's fairy dust, also known as sawdust, and some pretty standard wood glue. As I was doing the headstock, as I say, I used all hand tools. I don't have a jigsaw or anything like that. I can't really get on with those. And I don't have a bandsaw, unfortunately. So I basically just cut chunks out of this with a tenon saw and then went round the edge with a coping saw. Took a little bit of time, but I did it. But as I was doing that, part of the wood chipped right on the edge of the headstock there. One or two little cut marks that were a little bit deep, I must admit. But you see, I don't edit out the mistakes in these videos because they are educational, and I think that would defeat the object. So if I show you very closely, here is the filler result, and I'll show you what I did actually while we're here. So basically, just your sawdust. It's best if you can to get the kind of it's water-based glue, wood glue, but the sort that dries completely hard and waterproof. Alternatively, you can use super glue or epoxy resin, which works really well. It's pretty messy and smelly, that stuff, so I try to stick to my new glue gun now. But epoxy works really well, or with epoxy resin even, you can just colour that or just use it as a filler on its own. Give it a good time to dry though, because epoxy dries in a funny way. So you might think it's dry and it's not. They say 10 minutes, but that's rubbish. I mean, give it a good hour, I would say, if you are going to use epoxy. Yeah, so basically, fairy dust, drop of glue on the top. You don't need a lot. And if you can see there, I don't think you can, but there's the glue. If you just roll it around, and you want it so it's like window putty, really. So I really didn't prepare for this, but there's a piece. I can show you that bit there. It's nice, like a piece of putty. And then you can simply just go to the hole, stop it in with your fingers, and just stop that in. And let it dry. Again, give it about an hour or so. Once it's dry, you can just sand it completely flat. And as you can see, I haven't actually sanded the headstock yet, but there was a knot hole in the neck, and if you can see that there, I filled the knot hole with the same homemade wood filler. That's all water-based glue and sawdust, because some of these commercial fillers do have some horrible, like, organic compounds or something, but they're volatile organic volatile organic compounds. Yeah, they're not very nice. Even though they say organic, they're far from what you would associate with natural, if you ask me. So just a bit of wood glue and sawdust, it actually makes a better filler, I think, than anything you can buy commercially. For little holes like this, you know, obviously if it's a great big gaping thing, you might want to think about starting again. And yeah, it's totally non-toxic. So, and it costs you next to nothing, you know, ever. So there you go. I didn't actually come up with that phrase myself. I was watching a guy on a woodworking channel, and he actually referred to it as carpenter's fairy dust, which I thought, yeah, that's excellent. So whoever that was, thank you. I can't remember, it was some time ago I was watching your channel, but carpenter's fairy dust works every time. And that's basically as far as we've got. So far so good. So far left-handed. As I say, she'll fit together like this with a fingerboard, and she will be played theoretically anyway this way. Yeah, I've actually been sitting with her like this to get used to the fact that we're working this way, and I've really enjoyed working on this. Little things, the fact that you're working from left to right instead of right to left, it just kind of makes a nice change. You know, everything I've ever built, I've been working from right to left. And this time I went from left to right. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. You see, already I'm getting confused. I think I'm going to wrap up my mouth anyway. Leave it there and quit while I'm ahead. So yeah, if you're still here with me, you're an absolute legend and a rock star. As always, thanks for watching. As always, thanks to my wonderful subscribers and to all my left-handed player subscribers. And to anyone watching this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, make a comment, subscribe, or if you didn't like it, go and watch something else. That's cool as well. Okay then. So I'll leave it there, popes. I really can't get my words out today. I'll leave it there, peeps. And stay blessed. And until next time, keep building. Bye for now. Bye.